want to talk about the power of service. Today, this particular recording is going to be a bit lengthy. I want you to stick with me. So I'm touching on the subject of service, the power of service. One thing you must understand is that as a child of God, serving in the house of God or serving God's servants is so key. The power of service. Service comes with rewards. But I want to break this thing of the subject of service into two. There is a highest dimension of service and the minor dimension of service. What is the highest dimension of service? The higher dimension of service is service unto God. And the next dimension of service is service unto men, or service unto your spiritual father. Hallelujah. So it is very empirical, very important you understand that in serving God, you must give your all in all, as the Bible said. Serve the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your strength, and with all your spirit. Hallelujah. So it required your heart, your strength, and your spirit, even your body. You understand? So in serving God, you must understand that it also consists of the thing of sacrifice, the thing of prioritizing God's needs ahead of yours, the thing of satisfying the heart of God before satisfying your heart. It's so key you understand this. There are individuals like David, like Abraham. Most importantly, Abraham, first and foremost, Abraham served God. Abraham believed on God against all odds. Abraham was humble towards God. Abraham served God with all he has. Abraham gave God his most valuable. Abraham sacrificed the prime of his life to God. He served God with his life. He served God with his family. He commanded his family to do as God wills. So Abraham was not just serving God by himself alone, but he instructed his family to follow him in serving God. First and foremost, when the Lord called Abraham in the book of Genesis from his father's house, Abraham obeyed. He didn't fight God's instructions. The Bible said, and the Lord said to Abraham, Abraham, leave your father's house. Leave your father's house. I think Abraham Genesis chapter 12. He said, depart from your father's house and go into a land I will show you. Abraham obediently responded to God and left his father's house, Terah, with his family and servants. And Abraham, eventually, God led him into that promised land. And so there's one thing you must understand. In serving God, it will get to a point in time you will be required to do certain things that is humanly not logic. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. But that is God. That is God. You must understand that in relating to God, sometimes it doesn't make sense. Service unto God will secure your destiny. Service unto God will secure you from the place of premature death. Service unto God will cover you from dangers unseen and unknown. Service unto God will establish between you and God a covenant which can never be broken. Service unto God, it will establish between you and God a covenant no man can break. A covenant that will outlive you. Even generations unborn will come and enjoy of that covenant, of which the nation of Israel is enjoying of the blessings and the covenant which resulted as a result of Abraham become service unto God, they are enjoying of the benefit. So in serving God, it's not easy. It's challenging. It's difficult. But when you give yourself to it, eventually you will have the last laugh. And they who thought you are not sensible, you are unwise, you are not logical, what you are doing doesn't make sense. Eventually they will come bound before you like the brothers of Joseph. So when you bring yourself to the place of service, it teaches you humility, it teaches you obedience, it teaches you sacrifice, it teaches you the essence of honor and respect. It builds you up, it builds your personality, it builds you up in the area of leadership, it builds you up in the area of becoming an honorable person, a person of value and great wealth. I didn't say wealth, I said worth. You see, there are individuals in this world who have wealth, but they lack the personality of worthiness. They have no character. The only thing that gives them relevance is their money. But in the place of serving God or His servant, your character is built up in a position or in a state that pleases God, that aligns with God's dealings, that aligns with God's plans, that aligns with God's will. And so you must understand this, that as a child of God, in serving God, you are to forgo even the interest of those you call family and friends. Shagalu bragadabadu sedes. Service is a key commodity. I'm telling you, it's a commodity. It is something that when you lose sight of, you can attain that place of relevance before God. Because the only way to relate to God or His servant is by serving them. And as I said, the most highest dimension of service is service unto God. It's so key you understand this as a child of God. Not everybody will bring himself to the place of serving God, because in the place of service is also a lonely ground. Not many people are found in that place of service, because at that position you will have to reduce yourself. You have to, how do I put this? You have to clear yourself of any kind of significance or relevance. You have to clear yourself of any reputation and come down to the place of being a sheep or a slave unto God, or a slave unto the man of God. You understand? So we are all slaves unto God. If you really intend to tap into the deeper dimensions in God, you must become a slave unto God, even unto His servant also. You must serve God's servant like a slave. Even though you're not a slave, you must serve like a slave. Because in doing that comes with great reward. Honor is key. Honor is key. In obeying God comes with great rewards. Service, the power of service. When you give yourself to service, what you will be devoid of, the things you will lose. In the moment of honor, you'll be given back and even double. I said, the things you will not be able to enjoy in the moment of service, when the time is up at the end of your service and you are to be honored, God will double, triple up all the things you lost, all the enjoyment you were not able to enjoy. God will